one of those people who pays for water. Okay, I pay for my water and I'm not stressed about it. And I will be in the shower. I'll be in the shower for 30 to 40 minutes. Very comfortable. Nobody bothering me. Loud ass music. Having a full-blown conference call with my spirit guides, grounding, trying to see if my elementals have any stuff to say, because I forget to talk to my dragons and they get real angry and they start making noise at me. And I'd be like, stop, what is that constant roar? And I'm like, oh, it's y'all. I'm like, okay.
I love it.
I'll find out. I have too many people I can talk to. It's hard to distinguish who.
Yeah, I bet.
It's fucking annoying. Like, I could talk to galactics, I can talk to angelics, I can talk to elementals, I can talk to the grass, I can talk to the freaking wind. It's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And then I have my 8 main angelics that I deal with and my 4 personal spirit guides. And then I deal with my ancestors. Like, there's a whole, so when I tell you it's like a conference call, like
I'm like visualizing it.
Yeah, like there's literally like 60 people in my shower with me and like 2 dogs, a dragon, a unicorn, and a pegasi, like whatever. And we're and I'm singing.
That'd be a great picture.
Oh my gosh, that would be a great picture. Like if there's an artist out there who watches this like one day later and is like, you know what, let me draw her morning conference call. This is me in my shower. And I do my grounding exercise. I Reiki myself. I open up all my chakras. I clear them. I balance them. I put a discernment code into them to make sure that I'm always seeing clearly and that I'm open to receive what I need to receive. And then I get out the shower and I go about my damn day.
That's cool. That's incredible.
Well, I mean, I feel like you need to be practical about your spirituality, right? Like I'm a mom.
You don't have a whole lot of disposable like time to.
You don't. And the only time we really have to ourselves is the shower. You know that.
Oh, I do. I hide in I have a little office. Well, I share it with my partner.
Yeah, but we cry in the shower. Like that's where you go. You go to the shower to cry. You go to the shower to be miserable. You go like, that's what you do in the shower. Shower is like deep stuff, you know? So, and I'm a water sign. So water is everything for me. Like
you're Scorpio, right?
I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah,
so
me too.
I clear and I cleanse with water. I combat everything with freaking water. I'm like right before this, I came on because I showered this morning. I had to take my daughter out. So I didn't have time to take another shower. So I just went and I washed my face. I washed the back of my neck. I washed my arms, you know, and I was like, okay. And then we have grounded again. That's it. I just bring myself back to center.
Yeah.
And then I come and speak to you about what is important. And then that's why I'm so present. People are like, you're so present. I'm like,
you are.
I so meditated the fuck to get like this. Like
I know that. It doesn't just happen. I've tried.
So flighty. I used to be so flighty. It's
really.
They literally used to call me wishy-washy.
Yeah, I can be that way.
But now I know my purpose. I know my purpose. I know my focus. I know what I'm here for. I know why I'm here. I know what I'm doing. I know who I want to help. Like,
thank you for being here.
Thank you. I mean, it took forever, it feels like, but I'm right on time.
You are. I'm so glad to meet you and do this interview. Tell me about where people can find you.
Okay, you can find me all over social media.
Like I want to tell people, just Google Jill Woodworth TSC Talks. That's how I get hit. So I don't know if you have a tip like that.
I am literally search engine optimized.
Well, your name.
I'm the only Kimrâh Minuty in the United States.
Rock on, sister.
Kimrâh Minuty. So people will call me, like marketers will call me, hi, we'd like to search engine optimize you. And I'm like, I already am.
Yeah, right. Jill Woodworth, not so much.
Yeah, Kimrâh Minuty, the only one. And because of American systems, my name is not even properly spelled appropriately because they can't have the accent over my A. Yeah, I have an accent on my name. So literally nobody is, it's just me. So if you just Google me, my name is Kimrâh Minuty. You can find me on Facebook at Silver Lining Spirals, or my name, once again, Kimrâh Minuty. You can find me on IG, 2 pages, Silver Lining Spirals and Kimrâh Minuty.
Okay.
You can find me on YouTube at Kimrâh Minuty Ascension Coach, because I just changed that to make it easier. It used to be Off Duty with Minuty, but
I like that too, though. I saw that.
Yeah, off duty with Minuty was fun. It was gonna be just all the things you do when you're off duty, which is healing and, you know, having fun, exploring things, whatever. But then I just was like so serious. Shadow work was so important. And this awakening has been so intense.
So intense.
And this pandemic spurred so many more people to awaken. And
yeah,
so
I could
conversations that I have to have right now. That's Spirit is like, this is what we're talking about. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, no worries. Sure.
Okay. I love it that you listen to guidance like that and just.
I want to say that I don't have a choice, but that's not true. I've made the choice to make it non-negotiable to not listen to my guides, because when I wasn't listening to them, man, I got fucked up.
Yeah. See, I'm like starting to, so.
Take it from me. Just listen to them. It might sound like the craziest, just listen. What you want to know is it really a guide talking to me, or is this my ego? That's what you want to learn. You want to learn the difference between, is this me or is this a higher self?
Yeah, I just did this Lori Ladd reset, and she laid that out. I have these printouts like ego, higher self, boom, 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 boom.
Nice.
So I can like put it in front of me, and because I think they're intertwined. I know mine is like really intertwined.
And so you want to have a little more separation, friend. Little more separation, because I can pretty honestly say that my ego doesn't do a lot of the choices around here.
I feel that with you.
Because my ego sucks.
I don't feel the anything egoic really coming off of you.
I've really worked hard to strip myself down to where I'm not when I'm channeling. When I'm channeling, there's no ego.
Yeah. Sit down over here.
Right. We sit that bitch down. No.
Sit that bitch down.
Sit that bitch down. No, we don't need you right now. Be quiet. Okay. When I need my ego is when I need to be discerning and I need to categorize things and I need to protect myself. Okay. And then I trot her right back out and she goes right to her use the way she's supposed to. But the truth is that I spend most of my time in the channel zone. I'm never not channeling. Like you didn't see me have to do any sort of a quick transition. I didn't breathe.
Nope. You just came right on and boom, here you were.
Because I said, I ground to start my day. So I am fully in the presence of the divine when I start my day. And I don't want to go through my day without them.
Yes. So much better. So much better.
I just can't imagine it. I'm like, and when I don't ground in the morning, like if I just have like an off day where I was lazy and I just didn't shower till like 2 for some strange reason, or I was cleaning the house all day, then I was like, oh, I should take a shower. Like I just didn't do that.
Right.
My day is off. My day is off. I know it's off. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why? And I lose things and I can't remember shit and I drop things. I don't light my candles. And I'm like, something's not right. And then I'll look around and I'll realize you didn't feed your spirit guides today. You didn't shower. You didn't ground. You haven't cleansed yourself of the BS from yesterday. You didn't do a gratitude practice. You didn't even put your feet outside in the earth. Man, so look. Important. And then I'll nip that bad boy right in the bud. I don't care what time of the day it is. It could be 8 o'clock at night. I'll turn right around and be like, oh, well, it must be time for me to ground, bathe, blah, 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 and get back in alignment. Yeah, just one of the things
I think that's a good point too. That if you do fall, you can just get right back. Yeah.
Just go back. Yeah. Just go back. Sometimes I ground 3 times a day when there's really
a lot going on,
nasty energies, and I'm releasing a lot. And I'm trying to integrate some stuff, and my body hurts, and I have to deal with people. Like, hold on a second. I'm gonna go out here and I'll ground. Yeah, people. So I'll ground, and I'll ground multiple times. And when I get off of this with you, I'll ground again. I'll clear my energy from our conversation. I'll do like a cord unhooking, and I'll ground your cord into Mother Earth.
Thank you.
Instead of just letting it flail, right? Like some people do that. They cut them off and they just let them flail. No, I pull out cords and I tether them.
Fascinating.
It's way better for you and the other person.
Mm-hmm. And I think I'll start doing that.
Yeah, it's way better. If you tether people to Mother Earth, we all get better.
Yeah, for sure. For
Because the whole
sure.
point is to be grounded in her. Yeah, the whole point. You know what? I want to pull a card.
Okay, go for it.
Now I want to know what deck I'm gonna use. I want a new deck, but let's look at. So we were talking about Abraham Hicks. Let's do the Ask and It Is Given deck. Abraham Hicks. So a lot of people don't like Abraham Hicks because they say that the law of attraction teaches you to spiritually bypass and gaslight and all of these things, right? And I understand why people think that. But I want to say unto you that the law of attraction is one of 12.
12 like the DNA strands?
12 universal laws. Okay. And it's not complete in and of itself because it's part of a set.
Huh.
So you are supposed to, the reason we start with the law of attraction is because it's the primary tool that you need to start to begin to understand harmony, frequency, and raising your vibration.
And a lot of people just stop there.
Correct. And that's why all of this, oh, Abraham Hicks is bad, Abraham Hicks is this. How can you say that a small baby drew rape to them, blah, 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 blah.
It's more than that. It's more complicated than that. Or
thank you. It's there are levels to this, but you can only present so much until such time as other things can be divulged. And that's what Esther and Abraham were doing for the 30 years that they did this before the latest spiritual revolution came along for us to be able to complain about them. Okay?
I didn't know anything about them till like this past year. Somebody sent me a link and I was like, oh.
I found Abraham in 2018. Manifested my way into the hot seat at one of her shows in.
You did. Cool.
Listen, that was awesome.
I bet.
Like really literally taking what Abraham said 6 months later, manifesting the money to get to the show, driving down to Miami from where I lived in Orlando and going, I'm going in the hot seat. I'm gonna do it. And then I almost got to be the first person in the hot seat, but my fear caught me. So I said, after the break, I'm gonna be the first person chosen. And after the break, I was the first person chosen.
Beautiful.
It was so cool.
I bet.
I mean, it's so I haven't thought about that in years, but it was so cool. But that was the beginning of me understanding, like, this is how you leverage. This is how you leverage the power of the universe. Oh, yay. And this is the card we're gonna read. I love it.
Okay.
Okay, this is such a great card to end. The card says, my greatest gift to give is my happiness.
Ooh.
Isn't that fantastic?
I love it. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. And it's the truth. My greatest gift to give is my happiness. And on the back of the card, it says, the greatest gift that you could ever give is your own happiness. When you are in a state of joy or appreciation, you are connected to the stream of source energy that is truly who you are. And anything or anyone that you are holding as your object of attention benefits from your attention. Boom.
Yep. Tears. Feel that.
It's amazing. Like, and that's why I like the law of attraction. It helped me deal with my fear and with my pain. Oh, listen, if you have too much pain, go jump into the vortex. You're not going to feel pain when you're in connection.
Yes.
If you want to really work on your pain levels, meditation is key. Like you can meditate yourself out of your body to where you don't have to feel that. And you don't have to be medicated on 100 different things. Like I did a lot of drugs, guys.
Oh, me too.
We had to. I'm going to be real. I feel like we had to. Like people born before like 1990, y'all don't know the amount of drugs that we needed to do to survive this world.
That's a really good way to look at it. Yeah. Yeah, I go back and I don't judge it.
I don't judge anybody who has to do drugs. I look
No.
to see if they have sensitivities and if they have empaths issues. Like
Probably
I call
most
it the
of them.
empath curse. Yeah, and I look at that and I look because you do know there's whole families of alcoholics that have clairvoyance in crazy amounts, but because that clairvoyance was so suppressed, it now is it's a generational alcoholism because nobody can deal with their gifts, and so they're blunting it with drugs.
Yeah. I totally hear that. I see it too with special needs kids. I believe that they are tapped in, and they're tapped in. We don't want to see that. We don't want to they are gifted in ways that we in our society cannot.
Doesn't appreciate. It's so painful. Like that's so
part of my vision too, is just like letting people, like building people up that have these major, like my son with his intellectual debility. He sees apparitions. His past lives are just, I had a past life reading done for him. I mean, just like beautiful, like things that his reality is tough. So to have that connection with spirit for him has been,
it's a saving grace.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be as grounded and unmedicated as I am without this spiritual component. And I find that this is the component that almost everybody lacks. And even the people who are spiritual, but they like gained their gifts through training. Like they went to some school of psychic study, blah, 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 and they learned a technique, right? And they have the ability to tap in with their technique, but they're not rooted in anything.
Yeah. Like they might not have done the shadow work or.
Well, just the technique doesn't teach you shadow work.
Yeah. Right.
Technique doesn't teach you to ground yourself. Technique doesn't teach you to go and deconstruct the lies that are your current reality. It just teaches you a technique. I am grateful to say I was trained by spirit for all of my other gifts. And then my Reiki master trained me up into my Reiki mastership. Mm-hmm. But angelic channeling, like there's things that I can do that I don't know the name for.
Yeah. I bet.
That's why my list is so short.
It's like almost like lived experience. And it comes back to everything in our society. I think we've forgotten about tapping on lived experiences. It's like tyranny of experts, where we just, everybody's like, oh, did this person say this? Like, for instance, my mother, God bless her, that generation, if a doctor doesn't say it,
it's not valid. Right.
Don't matter.
It don't matter. Oh yeah. My father's the same way. But when Congress said that cannabis was good for seizures,
he liked that.
Oh, then he told my mom to shut up about my smoking. And I said, finally, it took y'all 20 years. I told them 20 years before cannabis was legal that this was medication and it would become mainstream.
You did.
20 years.
That's a long haul. Like I've been working on my mother for the last 6. I finally got her to take a little edible. She's got horrible back issues. And
my mom's relatively healthy.
Triumph. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but I still wanted to slip her one just so she could just chill the hell out.
Right.
But yeah,
I had these fantasies of like putting it in the Thanksgiving dinner this year.
Me too. I always tell her, I'm like, now that you're retired, one of these days you're gonna eat a brownie and you're not gonna know what happened. I'm gonna catch you, old lady. Watch out.
Yeah, my mom took an edible. She's like, the next day, I'm like, so mom, how was it? She's like, well, I felt a little loopy. I'm like, well, did you feel your pain? I wasn't thinking about that because I was so loopy. I'm like, there you go.
It works. It works, Mom. Yeah. Well, my mom is such a lightweight. She can't even drink alcohol. Like she gets drunk on non-alcoholic beer.
Pretty much my mom too. She's that way.
So I got to be real careful with her because a little tiny piece will go a long way.
I think I gave her like 2.5 milligrams, like a half of 5 mil, and that's she's never had anything.
Yeah, she was loopy. Like you got to give her like a milligram.
Yeah,
a milligram is too much, right? So, and I love it. Cannabis is so helpful, but like anything, it can become your oppressor.
Absolutely.
And you have to learn when to take breaks. You have to learn when to vary your methodology. You have to learn when to assess that. You have to learn when you're bypassing by utilizing cannabis as opposed to dealing with something that is unpleasant for you, right?
Truth.
And I've gone through all of that. Like I probably stayed with my daughter's father for 4 years longer because I was medicated and smoking weed.
I hear you.
So every time he would say something that was really, truly gaslighting me, I would just discount it and roll a blunt. Pop a Klonopin. No, for real.
No, I hear you. I tuned out a lot for a long time.
You tune out a lot. Right. And so that's the thing. Like you get so used to being numb, not being numb. The transition is really hard.
It's hard.
And I don't recommend you doing it by yourself. So if you're going through a spiritual awakening, or if you've already been through an awakening, but you're going through a dark night of the soul, because that's my next coaching group is going to be on Dark Night of the Souls.
Oh, that sounds great.
I'm going to do like a 5-person mastermind on how to navigate your dark night of the soul so that you can profit basically off of it when you come out. So not profit like money profit.
No, I know.
You've got something to show for the suffering.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. People are going to grab onto that, I think.
Like, see, this came out of one of my other dark nights of the soul.
Yeah. Tell me about the book quickly.
So my book.
Not quickly, as long as you want. I'm not putting any limits. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can always just break this up into 2 podcasts.
So that's what I was thinking, because I don't want to cut it off. It's good.
This book, right? I love my book. This was so hard to birth.
Was it?
I had a car accident in 2017. I was in excruciating pain. I was actually doing cocaine for a little while to cope with how badly I was hurting. I didn't realize that I really did have fibromyalgia at that time. So all of my pain was magnified from the fibro, and I was injured, right? So I injured my C5, C6, C7 in my neck, T1, T2, T3 in the middle of my back, L4, L5, S1 in my lower back.
Holy crap. Did you even have a back?
I don't.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
It's all smoke and mirrors. Like, we like to pretend that I have a back, but I'm really just a disembodied floating head. Like, so if you can imagine, I went from being relatively connected and starting on, coming out of another horrible awakening. This is 4 years into my last awakening. And then I get smashed by a car accident. And it was devastating. And nobody was around. My parents were on vacation in Canada that year and no one was home. Nobody could help me. It was me and my cousin. It was a horrible situation. Fast forward to, I was able to apply for disability, and they caught me a disability check. I got some arrears on it because I've been trying to get disability for several years, but of course in Florida, that doesn't fucking happen. You have to get denied 4 times before four times before they'll approve you.
Shit.
Yeah, so I got denied 4 times, and then I had to basically almost become paralyzed. And then they approved me temporarily because I had such a bad concussion that I could not function.
Wow.
I had no control over my emotions. None. Okay, so traumatic brain injuries are not talked about enough in this society, and they need to be.
One of my last interviews with a woman that on TBI and cannabis, how she tried everything until she found that and was able to finally function at all. I mean, yeah, what we're doing to people in this society is just really
setting them up to fail so that they can feed the freaking machine.
Keep it going.
So that nobody ever gets out and actually gets to enjoy their life.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, great. So the book came from that car accident.
That deep pain.
I had been drawing prior to that, and I just had a bunch of drawings, but I didn't know what to do with them. And
are they in there?
Yeah, they're in my book.
Can you hold one up?
Yeah, I will. I'll actually take the background off of my thing too, so you can see.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Let me take my virtual background off.
I love that background though. It's like peaceful as fuck.
Yeah, that's why I have those. I keep when I do coaching sessions, I keep a really peaceful background so that people are relaxed and they're able to tell
Look
me.
at that.
So this is my tree. Her name is Gaia, and it's like basically a tree of life.
Yeah, I'm
and
going to
it's a
screenshot it
pencil
right now.
drawing. Yeah, it's a pencil drawing. I can actually send it to you.
I got it.
Yeah. So this book has my art scattered through it because I've struggled. There we go. I've really struggled to be able to sell my art.
Nope. Yeah, it's hard. My daughter's an art. Well, she's an artist. My kids are all super artistically inclined.
And it's so hard to sell your art.
Oh yeah.
It's so hard. I don't know how. I don't have the skill set to make it work. And I'm so invested into my pieces.
That you don't want to just give them away.
I have given them away, but after a while, it's like, why am I always giving away stuff and not getting anything back? Like, this is a skill that other people don't have. Why can't I?
Absolutely, you should be able to.
Right. So I stopped. So what I decided was that I would make this book. This is like my baby, it's like my baby. It's like my hopes and my dreams. And it's not really my hopes and dreams, but it's my art that nobody would look at. So I shoved it in a book, right? And it's my poetry that I was afraid to speak, but someone needed to hear it because it's things that I had to say to myself to not be so sad and to survive all of this physical pain and then
this is fading out.
People treated me so poorly after my
really
accident.
Probably did. It brought up too much in them probably to even come near you.
People couldn't come near me.
Couldn't
not only that, just the medical community treated me so poorly. Like
I treated like a criminal,
pariah, like a freaking leper.
Oh, tell me. Yeah.
They treated me so poorly. Anyway, so fast forward to now. Now I fell again and injured myself in July.
Did you?
And got another concussion and re-injured every single section of my back that I had injured. And the reason that happened was so that we could balance the scales. Because the last time the medical community treated me like a fucking drug-seeking, homeless, drug addict bum bitch, when that wasn't the case. I was in so much pain and no one would help me. And this time I had everybody who was like, oh no, we know what's going on. Yeah, that's right. No, they weren't supposed to do that to you. They should have did this. And no one checked that. Well, let's check that. And I was like, oh, doctors who know what they want and are actually going to give a crap and who are going to send me to the right resources. What? Right? Like, that's so cool. And so I finally got to get decent care so that I could,
see that it was possible.
Well, I could see that this is the scales were shifting. They're like, this is what happened last time. This is what it's actually like for you now. You are supported. There are people who are qualified. They are going to be of service to you. They are. And so that's what happened.
So you had to go through that other experience in order to get to
close out. Yep. To close out the last experience. So I could be like, psh, and now we're free of that. I mean, there's something else, of course, right? Like, cause now I got to heal this shit, right? I gotta heal this shit. Damn it. I was climbing trees and jogging. Damn it. And now I gotta stop. I can't even walk long.
Really?
And no, I'm just this month, because it's December now. This month I can finally start doing some like light yoga and stretching.
Oh, good.
Short walks. But like short walks are like asking for a flare up. It's a workout to clean my house.
Wow.
I got
that's my grounding is running really hard, which has not always served me to the best of my ability.
No, not for your knees, but it feels good.
Oh man, that's how I have, like, I'd say grounded.
But you process emotion.
Yep.
Yeah, totally. No, you got to process your emotion. I process my emotion through walking. Like, I'll walk 4 or 5 miles just to get something out of my body, out of my head, out of my mind. And I process a lot in my walks. Not being able to walk.
That's what I'm thinking here. Like, wow.
It's so hard. Like, to try to move through what I've gone through this year and not be able to walk. I'm like, really? I'm pissed off right now. Pissed off.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, so I mean, I got a lot of anger too. Don't get me wrong. I got a lot of anger, but
we live with it, or
you just process it out when it's
process it
time.
out.
Like you gotta deal with one emotion at a time. Like you can't process 15 of them at once. I mean, you can, but it's gonna be hell. And you might not get out of bed for about 2 weeks if you do that. Like I believe that you should just, gently work them out. Like your body can only handle so much. Draw them out. And that's why I mentioned the body coding and the emotion coding that Lorraine does. Like she can do multiple sessions with you. And on each session, she'll just draw out a top layer of things. It's cool. Amazing. She's so good.
Oh, that's great.
So good. And whereas I do like a general overhaul when I'm doing your energetic reading. Like, so just this conversation with us, like when you first got on, your skin was a lot less shiny. Now, if you look at yourself, you've actually brightened up quite a bit. Happens every time. Every time. Okay. So I'm just doing like a refilling of your energy and like a clearing of your soul.
Thank you.
Just like, and then just, reflecting to you like, dude, you're awesome. And most people don't get reflected that. And so when you're able to be that mirror for people and go, hey, I know what that shit is like. I know how to sit in that shit. It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. And so those are the things that allow us to remember that we're not alone.
I'm feeling this.
Yeah, because when you're mom and 5 kids, like the world is against you.
It's a daily battle.
It's a daily battle. It's a daily battle. And you got to remember that you're somebody other than a mom. Like you are Jill Woodworth in and of yourself.
Yes.
Like you're.
Yeah, and I think it's a journey back to me. I think that's what, like this year, it's been like my battery might die. Crap. I just realized that. Hey, can you hold on just a second? I don't want it to die while I want to wrap this up properly. So 1 second. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to walk in here.
With the computer?
With the computer. I share an office with my boyfriend partner. And I used to do all my stuff in the office, but he's got a job where he has to be in there all the time.
It's working right.
Yeah. So, and that's cool. That's cool. We adapt. So I'm walking in now.
Yeah, it's balance.
Yeah. Yeah. It was an adjustment, but it works. Okay. But I don't want this to just end. So.
Like, oh,
there we go.
There, just joking. The end of the podcast is
right. It would have been just like dead. We just would have gone dead, and that's just not professional.
That's not professional.
It's not professional.
It's not professional. I love it.
All right, there I am on, plugged in.
So look, I'll read you one of my poems.
Yes, I would love that.
Okay, so this one is called "Dare to Dream." Because, like I said, these are all inspirational poetry pieces. I channeled them. I'm going to read this to you, and it'll be like the first time I read it because I don't remember this poem. Okay, great.
Okay, go.
Dare to dream a big dream. Sunshine flowing through cloud beams. Wind whipping energy everywhere. 9-year shift, new moon, polarity rare. Oh, we have a new moon coming. Stripping slips of consciousness in the air. Raise the vibration. Do you dare? Love is the only answer I know. So unconditional, let it flow. No time to question how it works, just coast on feeling all of life's perks. Beauty is in everything. Stop for a moment, let it sink in. Dewdrops on rainbows, whiskers on kittens. List all of your favorite things. Reset button already built in. Vortex of abundance filled to the brim. Born happy, born free. Inalienable rights. I'm allowed to be me. Label free. You can't box me. So those are the poems I wrote myself. I know, aren't they great? I'm like, I didn't put that in there. And
where can people buy it?
You can buy it on Amazon.
Okay.
Actually, my book is available on Amazon worldwide. I have about 3 soft covers here. If someone wants a signed copy, they can just message me. I'm like, I'll send you a signed copy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I've got a few. I just have a few left over. The pandemic kind of ruined my book tour that I was gonna go on.
I bet.
Oh man. All of the things that I had planned. I launched this book in look, this is what happened. 2019 in July, the government was like, well, it seems like your concussion's resolved. And based on that, your temporary disability has been denied. And you can appeal it. But I was still sick and I had a concussion and I just got angry.
I hear that.
I didn't have the strength to fight them again, to maintain it. And I was just so hurt and bitter because I had struggled so hard already. And I couldn't believe that they would disallow my stuff just because
It's so
just because the concussion was better. The concussion wasn't the whole thing. I had full blood, like I have full body pain. And anyway,
right.
So long story short, July, they were like, this is going to be your last check. August, I was like, what the hell? I was sick from August 1st till August 24th because I was so stressed out about them taking my disability
I believe
money.
that.
And then on the 24th, I found some BS job directing traffic in downtown Orlando at night at an Uber ride hub, and just picked up some bullshit ass part-time work and started working. And then in October, the book was published. In November, I started my company, Silver Lining Spirals. At that time, it was Silver Lining Spirals Visual Art LLC. And then in December, I got licensed as a health, life, and annuities agent for health insurance, health, life, and annuities insurance. So I'm licensed in Florida for all of those, and I'm licensed in health in 15 other states currently, but I have to like renew my licenses. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But I am licensed in 15 states for health insurance and Medicare. And I also know ACA under 65. And so that's how I ended 2019. And then we went into 2020 and I had all these things lined up for the book, and I was going to be at the Miami Book Fair and I was going to do all these things, and then the pandemic hit. And that's when I started my podcast the first time. That's when I started Gaiasaurus in March or April of 2020, instead of freaking out like everybody else did because how they had to stay home.
Yeah, that was no biggie for me because I was already home.
I'm like, I've been home. I was like, I've been home since 2013. You don't kiss my ass. It was fine. Like, I've been quarantining since 2014. I'm fine. Like, if anything, now everybody acts like I do finally. Oh, so you're finally going to have some empath etiquette? You're not going to run up to me and dump your emotional baggage and bullshit on me? You're not going to hug me for no reason? You're going to try to touch me and drop your crap on me? Oh, great. Y'all are
so it's like a good thing.
I love it. I'm glad that people are finally... This 6 feet means that you are energetically out of my field. For an empath, that's a blessing. I have always needed 6 feet. Always. People are always say, Kimrah, you don't like people to be too close to you. Hell no, I don't. Because you're dumping. I'm a channel. I pick up all your crap. And I take people's energy and I transmute it. It used to make me sick. I was in hospitals. Like, my roommate in college caught a stomach flu. I went in. I felt bad for her. I didn't touch her. I didn't drink anything. I went back to my room. 2 hours later, I'm vomiting. Next morning, she's fine. I've got the stomach virus. We're still friends to this day, mind you. I love her.
That's good.
But this was my experience. So imagine how many different illnesses and instances of things that I have taken on to myself to then heal and purge and reset.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people that do that without even realizing it.
They don't even notice, right? Because if you have shit boundaries, you can't shield against that. You just picking stuff up. You just
right.
And that starts to weigh on you.
I didn't know anything about that till the last few years, and I realized, I see now. I see now why. Yeah.
And then now you wonder, like, okay, so you've got anxiety and depression. Is it really all yours, or is it an amalgamation of the amount of other people's crap that you picked up that you didn't know wasn't yours, and you just been holding on to it because you didn't know it was yours? And then we come and we do
true.
Reiki, and we set other people's baggage down, and we just let ourselves be us with our own emotions and our own problems and our own bullshit. You don't need everybody else's.
No, thank you.
You don't need everybody else. So that's why I like to do energy healing, because that's what it does. It clears the debris from around you so that you can come into focus. That's one of the best ways that and then the other thing I like about it is that just because I do a session today doesn't mean that they're not going to be like ongoing effects. Like the effects of the energy healing continue to snowball over time, and they just keep getting, like you just keep getting better. So you just do energetic maintenance. And then like I go in and I have my Reiki master do Reiki on me like twice a year, even though I do my own Reiki, right? But just so I can get like an overhaul, because we all have a blind spot for ourselves. So I have someone come look at me because I can't fucking see. Like, can I see the middle of my back with that spot on it? No.
Right.
So I'm going to have someone else come, hey, what's on my back? Same thing with your energy. I have every 6 months, especially if I'm trying to launch something, or if I feel stuck, or if I just am like, I don't have the strength to do this thing that I want to do. I'm calling her.
Good to know.
Hey, I'm like, hey, schedule me. That's it. I'm like, schedule me, because I know that with a clear and open chakra, nothing attacking me, and clarity of mind, all things are fucking possible. That's how I do things. That's how I operate. I operate from a spiritual to a physical level. I don't do physical to spiritual. I go spiritual to physical. I can't function in 3D Muggle world. I suck at it. I suck at it. I think it's a neurodivergent thing. We don't understand society because that's not how it doesn't make sense.
It's not supposed to be that way.
It doesn't make sense because society
never made sense to me.
Yeah, society now is so corrupt and so anti-human.
Yes.
Like, you notice that? Like, we always laugh about, peopling, right? Empaths and like sensitives and spiritual people. People. But here's the truth. We're people, right? And the reason that we struggle with our other people friends is because we have lost our humanity. And we don't know how to be people. We don't know how to be kind. We don't know how to live in harmony. We don't know how to live in balance. We don't know how to work with the cycles of nature. I feel that the Industrial Revolution, although I love my iPhone.
Oh, they seduced us all.
I mean, although I love my iPhone, it's the greatest detriment to the planet ever.
Since we went inside and built all these houses around ourselves with like no access to.
Because now we have lost touch with what is going on outside.
Biophotons
outside is where the truth is.
Yep.
Outside. It's in the grass, it's in the water, it's in the air. It's not on the internet. As much as I'm on there.
I know. Oh, I know. Me too.
It ain't there. Sometimes I go outside and get on the internet just so I can be outside and be on the internet, right? Like literally what I do. But yeah, so these are the things. These are the things that we've lost touch with. We've lost the concept of cycles.
Yeah,
it's so important. This concept of cycles. Like there are cycles for everything in the universe and in nature.
There's that Bible verse, to everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. That was my high school graduation quote for some reason.
But because it makes sense, because as you become more awake, you become more in tune with cycles again. You become in tune with the moon. You become in tune with the earth and spring and solstice. And these things start to really hammer in and make sense again. And you're like, yeah, now I see why they did that. Like the ancients were on it. We are fucking stupid.
Right. Well, we've cut. I think we've cut ourselves off. We're disconnected.
We've cut ourselves off, and it's not helpful. And it's not helpful. Like, we have seasonal affective disorder. Yeah, because you're forcing people out of the cycle. In like just as far as Little House on the Prairie, even. Okay, let's go back. Not that far, but that's kind of far.
Sure.
Little House on the Prairie in the winter. You know what they did? They hunkered down and knitted by the fire, sang songs to each other, played games, and took care of but they didn't force things. They didn't go on 300-mile treks in the damn middle of the winter. They knew that was certain death, right?
Right.
We're so divorced from the concept of what is right and wrong in terms of the timing of things that people who are supposed to be gone after a short span of time, we let them stay in it forever when they were just a brief passing lesson. Man, let that motherfucker go.
Yeah. Like latch on and.
Right. The Bible says people are here for a reason. Was it a reason, a season, or a lesson? Something like that. A season, a reason, I don't know. A season, a reason, or a time. I don't know. One of those quotes.
Yeah.
But it's true. When you
Our
meet
fear of
someone,
death is crazy.
Yeah, like when you meet someone, they're not forever. And you should always think that. Even your children. And that's really hard.
Oh, I've come to I know that. Believe me. I wake up.
That's a hard one.
It could happen every day, any day. Had to get very real about that. It's very hard.
It's very hard. No, because
you're going to be attached to your kids.
Listen, as a parent, our worst nightmare is our kids dying, right? Just period. If you're a parent worth anything, you have a child, and then you realize when you see their little dumpling cherubic cheeks, you're like, holy fuck, I'm responsible for keeping you alive.
Oh, I'll never forget my son. In fact, I gave up custody of him because it terrified me.
Dude, and that stays with you.
Yeah.
It stays with you, and you don't move out of that cycle of, I have to keep you alive when they're babies. Once they're 2, it's just like, it's not that I have to keep you alive. I just have to keep you from hurting yourself or blah, blah, blah. And then when they're 4, you're like, I just got to keep you from running into something and setting shit on fire. Okay, great. And then when they're 6, I just got to keep you from beating up other people and realizing you're not the only thing that survives around here. And then we don't move with our own cycles in our lives. Like you see those posts about moms who are like, it's kindergarten. And they're like losing it because their child.
I was like, go.
Right. The mindset is they're never supposed to change.
Yeah.
The fucking you're hurting yourself with that mindset. Everything changes.
Change.
The only constant in life is change. That's my favorite quote probably of all time. The only constant in life is change. Only constant in life is change.
Yep. It doesn't mean we have to like it.
Doesn't mean you have to like it, but if you can embrace the change, man, it's smoother. It's smoother. And then you're not going to be as attached to things that aren't for you.
True. Yep.
That's it. I find that a lot of us get attached to things that are not for us because we believe that they are supposed to be here for XYZ amount of time.
Because we've been told
reality, that. Yeah. When in reality, nobody came with an expiration date. Like nobody had a stamp on like born on X date, leave on Y date. Like it'd probably be easier. It would be easier if someone came into your life and they were like, well, I'll only be here for about 3 hours and 27 minutes. So let's make the most of this time. Because then you would actually be, right? Then you would actually be more intentional and more present with that person.
Right.
Like if you knew that
you're going to die tomorrow.
Right. If you only had but see that, you may die tomorrow thing is so nebulous because most people immediately want to go, but I won't. So then they don't seize today. But not me. That's when your ego gets you. Not me. That's other people.
Totally.
That's not me. Not me. And then you don't do the thing that you should do. You don't take the action that you should take. You don't say I love you to the person that you should love.
I was just thinking that. Yep. Seize those moments, baby.
It's so crazy. People think that the biggest things in your life are gigantic events. They are these tiny choices. They are these tiny 1-second blips of, do I say the nice thing or do I say the wrong thing? Do I say the mean thing or do I say the right thing? Do I go left or do I go right?
Choice, forks in the road.
one split choice, and that will change your whole reality. That whole reality. If I had not published this book, if I hadn't taken the disability money and turned it into this novel, and if I hadn't looked at people and go, I'm a self-published author, and people looked at me with respect, and I said, oh, this is a new club I'm in. That's cool. Right? So then now I could talk to people who had books, and they'd be like, oh, I'm an author. And I'd be like, oh, who am I?
Good one.
Right?
Yeah, good impression.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Like, everybody, I do things, honestly. Oh my God, I'm diming on myself. Look, guys, I get certifications so that I can charge people money. Because you're not going to believe that I can help you without the certifications. Okay?
Yeah.
You want the paperwork. Okay, so I did. I got the paperwork so that I can charge you what I'm going to charge you, but I never needed this paperwork. The wealth of knowledge that I have and the vast experience that I have, priceless.
Yes. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, so honestly, you have to do the thing. You have to do the thing that will get the people to respect you and that's how this was. That's what this book was. This book was me establishing authority in an area that I really have no authority on. I didn't.
Who does?
You just got to do the thing, right? So then this was my launching point. So then I could go places and be like, I'm an author. Mom. Yeah, me too. So what? You're not special. Cool. Let's talk about it.
Yep. I've done a lot of those things to get the credentials or get the.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You got to do what you got to do to get the thing that you need so that you can be of service the way you want to be of service. So I've wrapped up an intuitive life coaching certification. I've got a Reiki master certification. I've got a bachelor's degree in psychology. I've got an almost nursing degree.
Yeah.
Right?
We didn't even get into that.
Oh my God. I have so many damn freaking degrees. I just found a certificate that I had from 2006 that says that I was a guardian ad litem and part of the psychology. Where is that paper? I was like, oh, look at me with certificates. I forget.
You forget. Yeah, I know. Me too. Because I'm pretty trying to be here now. And that stuff doesn't matter that much to me. Like,
I'm in the now moment because this is where you manifest.
Right.
You manifest in the now moment. You manifest your future from right here. You're not manifesting it up there. Your future starts here today with you. Right? So we stay here. So then all of a sudden something will show up and I'll be like, oh, yeah. Like I had forgotten I was indoctrinated into the priestesshood of Bastet in 2005. I forgot about that. I was like, oh, I've been a priestess for years. And sometimes I hurt myself. It's like, oh, good job, Kimrâh. Yes.
Yeah, mine is like not making a dinner or made 6 leftovers. Use 6 leftovers in my dinner.
6 leftovers. That's it.
6. That's
oh yeah, that's right. That post you put up.
Yeah,
Like, I was cracking up because I did the same thing last night.
I looked in my fridge. I'm like, bing, 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 bing. Bloop.
I had a whole set of leftovers, and then I saw your post at 1 o'clock in the morning. I started dying of laughter because I had leftover turkey from Thanksgiving, some leftover pork from Christmas. Well, not from Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving type turkey. It was at Christmas dinner. And then I had green beans from something that I had made over, and I had some rice and beans that I had made, and I had that all on this plate, just gigantic plate of food. And I was just like, cranberry. just threw cranberry on it. Why not? Right? I need some fruit.
Yep. Oh, I love it.
It was the best plate of food ever. I was so hungry last night.
Yeah, taco rice. I can't get away from that.
Yeah, no, you can't get rid of taco rice.
Oh God,
it's like a win. So, yeah. So that's what my life is like, Jill.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for taking this time and sharing this with me. I probably will make it 2 podcasts. I'm gonna
yeah, bring it up.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.
Yeah, go for it.